Okay, so guys, welcome back. We are still here going around. So we are talking about school. So tell me about your first week in school. How was it? Like after you used your, what was it? You used your Google Maps.
Yeah, finding my way around school.
Yeah.
So my first week was uneventful. There was nothing much to it.
Okay.
Because it was during quarantine.
Okay.
Like in the height of COVID and all the restrictions. So basically I just spent a lot of time in the room because we had 10 days, was it? I think 2 weeks.
When you fly,
quarantine,
so they quarantined you for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. And then there was the curfew. So it was really, there was not much to do.
Okay.
Just other than sitting in the room and.
So you are in your room. Did you have ulikuwa na like blanketi, sheets and everything? You didn't need to shop?
I had so the International Students Office, they provided some. There are two offices actually. Kuna OISS, Office of International Student Services, I think. Now SES is Student Enrichment Services.
Okay.
So Student Enrichment Services works with kids from like low income, first generation kids. So they also sent a package, a package from OSS. So the package included like towels, sheets, blankets, those toiletries kinda. Okay. But there was a Target store, a supermarket hapo.
So you could go?
Yeah, so we just went. You could leave the room that designated between 10 and 6.
So even though you're quarantined, they let you leave the room?
Yeah, you could leave to go and take a test because we were doing COVID tests. After 2 COVID tests, after 2 negative tests, you could leave for exercise. It wasn't really strict.
So how soon do they give you the COVID test? Like 2 days, 3 days?
Ilikuwa inatoka in like 2-3 days.
Every 3 days?
Every like 2-3. The test uko nachukua weekly.
Okay.
Yeah. So the quarantine was not like really enforced. Like were so serious.
Okay.
But it was just there.
Okay.
So ungeza toka if you needed anything kwa supermarket, ungeza toka.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is the supermarket close to school?
It's like a mile.
1 mile. Okay.
1.2.
1.2 miles. You know how many kilometers? I don't know. I lost it too.
Yeah, like 1.5.
Okay. So maybe 3 kilometers, I think, probably.
No.
You don't think so? 1 mile, about 2 miles, maybe then?
1 mile is
about
like
2 kilometers. Yeah.
Maybe 1.5, 1.6. I'm not sure.
Okay. So you could go there. So in Nikitu Muliambiwa, there is a supermarket. How do you know this is a supermarket or where things are when you're so new?
So when you are coming to school with the other international students who had brought us, the ones who are working with the SS. So when we were coming to Kauliza if we need anything, wakasema there is a store called Target. It's just close by.
Okay.
So we just used Google to search tukapata alafu Google Maps. So we just walked, followed Google Maps because the distance was like sinakupea the estimation and everything. So tukona simba you can just walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So you ukaenda kanunua whatever. So that was how you'd be able to nunua whatever. So after when you came, was it like
alafu pia I now started I think I ordered vitu Amazon pia because
ukaanza kujua Amazon online.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could order. But then do you have a credit card or a debit card or to order things online?
So the first thing pia nilifanya, I think the next day ilikuwa ku set up bank account.
Okay. So is that facilitated by the school?
There's a bank in school.
So you just walked in.
So you just it's iko kwa the student center.
Okay.
So the student center, so you just go and
And open a bank
and
account.
open the bank account. They open it for students all the time, so they help you with it.
So you open a bank account. Do they give you a card right away, like a Visa card?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you use that right away.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's good. So, so that's your first week of school. What else? What other experience do you remember of your first week of arrival? So you've set up the bank, which you need for shopping. You've known where the supermarket is. Chakula is being taken care of because it was part of the scholarship, or you already paid if you are like a student who pays.
Yeah.
How about classes? Did it start right away?
No, so classes ilianza after a week.
Okay. So you came 1 week before classes started?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, it was 1 week, yeah.
Okay. So how do you register for classes? Do you register for classes before you come here? Or you register once you arrive?
Well, so we normally register for classes like probably a month before classes begin.
So they tell you, so walikuambia mapema while you're still in Kenya?
Yeah, so actually register when I was still in Kenya.
Okay. So how do you know what classes to take?
So you have an advisor.
Okay, so the school assigns you, once they accept you, even if you're not here yet, they assign you an advisor.
Yeah.
And they talk to you while you're still in Kenya.
Yeah, so the advisor emails you and they have so you talk about your intended major, what you want to, intended major, and then take some placement exams so that they can gauge where you are. Okay. Alafu with your placement exam results and your intended major and the school that you are in, the particular advisor now recommends some classes for you to take.
So the placement exam, is that like across colleges, ama hiyo ni ya shule?
It's
just for school. Is that particularly for Northwestern?
No.
Your placement?
No, a lot of my friends in other schools walikuwa nafanya placement tests.
Okay, so that's is that like where do you take that test? Is it an online? Is it?
I think in online due to COVID. Much of my experiences are just COVID experiences.
That's okay.
So almost everything was just online. But nilikuwa nasikia in the past, I think inakwanga in person hizo exams, some of them.
Okay. So you are required, ukisha kuja shule, you're required to take those tests, the placement test. Yeah, what is it about?
They just want to gauge your level in the classes, because since students are coming from all over the world, there's difference in the level of education
math
from the school.
Well, so what is the test? Is it math?
Yeah, so you take the math placement test, sana it's just calculus. Alafu, so yes, because ni calculus too. So there are some who place out of calculus walishafanya high school. Kuna kama sisi from Kenya, most of us we start from calculus 1, because high school I think tulifanya tu pre-calculus. So after the placement test, I think sisi wote, most of us from Kenya tulikuwa tu calculus 1. Pia wa the other, generally. Alafu, but so kuna some students when they place out, they place in like calculus 3. Yeah, so even if nyote ni freshmen, we are really not taking the same classes, because some already took them in high school, and because they still have to take math, so they have to take whatever, chemistry, whatever. So there's no different levels. Then now ukitoka teme kama ulianzia chemistry, sasa teme class 150, kuna wenye walianzia 170, kuna wenye walianzia 200. So utatoka 150 uende 170, utatoka 170 uende 200. So huyu mwingine mwenye alianzia ka 200 atamaliza requirements zake mapema.
Okay. So you take the placement test, alafu ndio wakupatie classes. You uanze kuchagua what classes to take in your first semester.
Yes, after taking the placement test, advisor, you can now advisor na review, alafu ana recommend classes. Okay. Yeah.
So all this is online, so you go and anakuambia take this and this that will count towards your major.
The placement I count towards your major.
No, the classes that
so also the classes are online. Descriptions ziko online. So kuna reviews of previous lecturers. So you can just go and also search.
And once you declare your major, unapata pia you get your major, like how many credits you're supposed to take and the name of the classes, isn't it? Is that how it works? I think once you declare your major, so they tell you how many credits you need to graduate and the name of the classes.
Yeah, so actually look, it's such same, let's say coming computer science. So unaambiwa to graduate the computer science from School of Engineering na from School of Arts and Sciences. So zote ziko na different requirements, but the computer science class is the same. So kama unafanya School of Engineering, so kuna requirements of School of Engineering, so you need to take these classes, like this number of math classes, 3 math classes, uchukue 1 physics class, ama I think between physics, chemistry, uchukue like 2 classes, you know, just alafu kuna some basic engineering classes pia. So on top of that, sasa kuna the computer science classes. So hizi basic requirements za kila mtu mwenye ako tuseme School of Engineering. Alafu kuna classes so specific now. Yeah, alafu kama ni School of Arts and Sciences, sema bado unafanya computer sciences. So most of the requirements zitakuwa za like arts and sciences. So kutakuwa na tuseme literature, kutakuwa requirements za, you know, ethics. Alafu pia utapewa like math requirements, alafu pia your computer science classes that you need to take. Yeah.
Nice. So you register, you talk to your alafu classes start. So your first, how many credits are you required as an international student? How many credits are you required to take per quarter or per semester?
So for us, the recommended classes are 4 classes per quarter. For like just across the board. But if you are underloading, which is taking like lower than the recommended, unachukua 3, and that's the minimum that you can take as an international.
3 classes for quarters, but I think for semester ni 12 credits.
Actually hata tusongea in terms of classes, so in terms of credits.
Yeah, credits.
So more than half, more than equal full load, which is 3 credits.
3 credits. Okay.
Yeah, 3 credits.
3 credits? No, it can't be.
For us, because hatuko quarters, semester system.
One class is 3 credits.
For us, it's 1 class is like, so you have to get the classes, but most of them 1 class is like 1 credit.
Oh, so this is quarter system, guys.
This quarter system,
okay, so for semester system, 1 class is usually 3 credits to 4 credits, and if it's really, really heavy, I think some classes rarely have 5 credits 1 class. So this is, so whatever conversation we're having is based on quarters. Okay, so you've registered, and then it's 1 week. So what do you do for the entire week, like even though it was quarantine? So take us through the process. If it wasn't COVID, what would you have done that week? What is the general, like what is required within that 1 week if it wasn't COVID time? Do you know?
I wish I did.
Okay, you don't. Okay.
But I think from what I've seen this year and the other years, it's normally just a lot of freshman activities.
Okay. Campus tour.
Yeah, just being taken around the campus. Dinners. There's normally like being put in groups, like peer groups. Alafu kuna some studies that tunafanyishwa, you know, like diversity and inclusion talks, talks about consent and alcohol use on campus, drugs, kinda.
So they're giving you kind of like life in campus.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
So you guys missed out on that.
We did those ones online.
Oh,
yeah.
So what are those classes? It sounds fun to me. Like, it sounds good. Me being older than you, I feel like those classes are important. So they teach you things about drugs, you said?
Yeah, they're not classes. It was just like kulikuwa na
movies, kind of like videos,
like programs. Then there was like a test.
That one was kind of like awareness.
Just
more of awareness.
Yeah, awareness. Alafu in the peer groups, we were now doing vitu kama land rights, the indigenous people's lands.
So kind of like knowing America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the history about the school land. You know, it was like taken from the indigenous people, all that.
Okay.
Diversity and inclusion.
Diversity and
alcohol.
inclusion, I think, probably is important in America because it is mostly mostly the school that you go. Would you say is predominantly white?
So it's the black student population is like 12%.
12%. Yeah.
Yeah, alafu.
So it's kind of like sensitivity to teach, kind of like awareness of how to probably communicate with people who are different than you. Is that what the class? Did you take that class?
Yeah, I took it, but it's, you know, it's just so surface level. It's just the same, you know, diversity and inclusion.
Okay. So do you feel, now that we are talking about this, do you feel that probably for international students, instead of diversity and inclusion, they should probably teach something to do with culture? The new culture, the American culture, because that's more relevant to international students. Yeah. So maybe that's something schools can consider. I don't know. Okay. So that first week, anything else you want to say about your first week in school? Like, what, looking back, do you think like there's something that you like that stood out your first week of school? How you were feeling? Chakula, were you eating food in the, like they were, so when they were bringing you food, were you the one choosing those foods?
Yeah, so actually we chose the foods like 2 weeks before, just like for the whole